The core of the left, at the core of a liberal, is someone that would use the sword if they had it. They are very violent people at their core. They always have been. They can't debate. They can't have conversation. So they'll resort to these tactics. They're going to do everything they possibly can to try to murder this movement because they can't beat us. So they're going to try to take weapons. And no, we're very aware of that. I'm aware of it. We have to have full-time security. This is not a joke. This is who these people are.
Hey, welcome into Courageous Media. Really appreciate everybody rolling up. We have got a fascinating, infuriating, scary, terrifying story for you. Actually, we got two of them. One here, one across the pond, both with very similar ramifications. But you have got, if you have not seen the viral video of Botox Betty, the person, the podcaster that the libs want to turn into their Joe Rogan, absolutely going mental. And showing, again, who she really is. It goes back to the whole show your ass theory. The libs are out and proud about how, as Charlie Kirk said, they actually love violence. They are of the same cloth as the National Socialist Party in Germany, the Nazis, as the communists in Russia. Realize, the communists or the Nazis killed 11 million, I think is the number that we arrive at. The communists in Russia, Stalin killed 20 plus million of his own people. Then you've got Mao in China that killed 40 million of his own people. So it just ratchets up in intensity, but that's who these people are. Realize they don't have any problem with violence because in their mind, they are right and you are evil. And if you don't agree with them, you are evil. You deserve to be eliminated. And we're going to get into that because this post is absolutely amazing and terrifying all at the same time. As we do, please smash that like button. I'm so glad you rolled up today. Hit that like button. Also, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. And here we go. This is absolutely amazing stuff.
Finally, if you think this Zoran thing is happening just in New York and you think people are waking up only in New York City, you're mistaken. Look at this clip of a wine mom at the No Kings March. Play the clip.
Whatever his name was?
Charlie Kirk, man?
Yeah, him is horrible. Horrible.
Charlie Kirk is horrible?
Yes, I'm glad he's not here.
You're glad he's dead?
Yes.
Why would you say something like that, man?
Because he was horrible on the campuses, the college campuses. Horrible person.
You know what? I do the exact same thing.
Well,
would you be
sorry.
glad if I would die?
Maybe. I'd have to think about it.
You should be ashamed of yourself.
Be ashamed of yourself.
Your friend just said she'd be happy if I died.
I think we need to.
So listen up, Democratic establishment. You can either jump on board with this shit or we're coming after you in the same way that we come after MAGA.
So listen to what she just said. Now, we're going to replay that and let the clip go to the end. But I just want to stop it there. Think about how she opened this and what she just said. The communist Islamist takeover of New York by Zoran Mandami, a known jihadist, a known sympathizer with terrorist groups like the Muslim Brotherhood, a avowed communist, an avowed Islamist, is about to become mayor of New York. And she opens her little monologue with, hey, what's happening in New York is just, it's gonna happen everywhere. Better get on board. And then she flips to this clip of a deranged liberal celebrating the death of Charlie Kirk. And it doesn't just stop there. It's not just somebody saying, hey, I'm glad that guy who somebody else killed is dead. No, she's talking to a live woman who says, look, all Charlie did was go to college campuses and engage in free speech. I do the same thing. Do you think I should die? Would you be happy if I died? And the woman said, yes. She turns to the woman's, ostensibly her friend, and says, hey, your friend just basically said that I should die for engaging in free speech. And the woman laughs. That's who these people are. And now you've got Jennifer Welch, Botox Betty, who says, hey, Democrat establishment, get on board with this sugar honey iced tea. Get on board with the idea of killing MAGA, of killing anybody who disagrees with us. Get on board with it, or we're coming after you, and we will do to you what we did to Charlie Kirk. This is just absolute insanity. Let's back it up here.
Democratic establishment. You can either jump on board with this shit or we're coming after you in the same way that we come after MAGA. Period. Stop taking AIPAC money. Go on an I'm sorry I took AIPAC money atonement tour if you want to stay in power. Stop missing out on these big rallies. Hakeem and Chuck should have been front and center introducing the next mayor of New York City, but no, they wouldn't show up because they're that are beholden to the same corporations that that helped Donald Trump get elected. And this is just an embarrassment. Kudos to Bernie, to AOC, to Zoran. And that woman out in somewhere middle America saying, Charlie Kirk, he was a racist, he was a piece of shit. There are so many more of us than there are of them. And these Democrats that continue to play patty cake with corporations and lobbyists, nobody wants that. Nobody wants you. We want politicians to speak freely and look at what the benefit is. Look at what is happening in New York. And you dipshits are sitting on the sidelines, running your social media like complete dorks. It's embarrassing. Get your shit together. Hakeem and Chuck, seriously get your shit together because the Democratic Party is moving on. We are moving on.
So listen to what she says. And this woman, this out in wine country, wherever she was, there are more of us. There are more of us that want our opponents dead than there are of you. That's what she says. And she basically says, Democrats, get on board with the idea that we want to eliminate our political competition. How dare she, as she said, we want politicians to be able to speak freely. But only if they're liberal, leftist, socialist, communist politicians. The other politicians, the Charlie Kirks of the world, the Speaker of the House, the former Speaker of the House in Virginia, i.e. the Jay Jones tweets. No. They speak freely, they get to die. That's exactly what she's saying. And realize this is true to form with every single leftist revolution takeover in modern history. Just look at the whole of the 20th century. Every single leftist takeover was done violently. They didn't all start with a gigantic coup or civil war. Sometimes they masked themselves, the socialists, the communists did, and they got in via vote, and then they executed the violence. Sometimes they executed the violence up front. But in any case, every single leftist takeover was marked by violence. Hitler's takeover in Germany was marked by and accelerated by the Night of the Long Knives, when he essentially eliminated all of his political competition. He killed them. The same thing happened in Russia. Remember, it was Lenin versus Trotsky. Now, they both wanted the czarist monarchy gone. They wanted the corrupt czarist monarchy out. And it was Lenin and Trotsky. And as soon as Lenin got in power, what did he do? He killed Trotsky and all of the Trotskyites. Anybody who followed Trotsky, he killed. Then as soon as Stalin got in power, what did Stalin do? Stalin went and purged 20 million people out of the country, out of the military, out of all of his political opponents. He consolidated power in an utter tyrannical dictatorship. Mao did the same thing. Mao killed all of his political opponents. What has been happening in Cuba for the last 60 years? The same thing. What's been happening in Venezuela for the last 20 years? Since Chavez and Maduro took over. Every single time there's a political opponent that rises up, they are arrested, jailed, imprisoned, killed. They all do the same thing. They realize they cannot win a debate on the merits. They realize that real people don't ever want the crap that they're peddling. They put on a mask and make it sound good in the beginning until they actually get in power and realize that the only way to institute their big utopian society is by force of arms and by force of theft. And that's who these people are. Now, I've got two other clips because we've got actual Democrat politicians saying the same thing. That she's a Looney Tunes podcaster. an extremist, violent podcaster, but we've actually got Democrat politicians saying the same thing. And it's crazy. But I really appreciate everybody rolling up. Thank you so much for being here. Please smash that like button for me, subscribe. Let me know you're here in the comments. And if you haven't already, please share Courageous Media with everybody that you know if you like the content. All right, let's dive right in because we've got Representative Jim Hines, libtard Democrat from Connecticut, saying essentially the same thing, doesn't really mince words. This is crazy. Here we go.
Terrorists. They may be drug runners. We don't know that for sure. But just because you call somebody a terrorist, we call lots of people terrorists, doesn't mean that the military is authorized to go after them. And if no other reason, and look, I talked to an awful lot of people who, despite the fact that this is illegal, are comfortable with lethal action against purported, maybe, cartel members. You know, where does it stop? Do we now start executing drug dealers on the corners of Brooklyn? Where does it stop? If all of a sudden the government, without telling anybody anything, can take this kind of lethal action just because they've decided that they've got the right to do so. If Lindsey Graham and other Republicans want to go the route of saying it's okay to kill people illegally, just so long as the American public supports it, the American public needs to really think that through. You know, there will be a Democratic president someday, and all my MAGA friends who are, cheering on these illegal killings need to imagine who gets killed when President Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez says that it doesn't matter what the law says. She's going to do what she's going to do. So look, I work.
There it is, right there. Hey, you better do what we want you to do. You better institute the policies that we want, or when Sandy Ocasio, God forbid, ever becomes president, please let me not live to see that day. She's going to come after and kill you. Well, guess what, Mr. Hines? We've already seen this story. We've already seen this movie. And this movie was Barack Hussein Obama. And basically, he never found a drone strike he didn't like. He loved drone striking everybody across the world. And so to go back to his original premise, well, wait a minute, just because you've declared them terrorists doesn't mean you can kill them. What have we done for the last 20 years in the Middle East, in Iraq, in Afghanistan, in Pakistan, in Syria? No, Barack Hussein Obama essentially mainstreamed the drone strike on anybody and everybody they deemed a quote unquote threat, including, and illegally, mind you, 2 United States citizens. Now, the people running drugs, operating these drug boats in international waters, are not on American soil. They're not in U.S. territorial waters, and they've been declared a terrorist organization by the Trump administration. So the Trump administration is utilizing the same congressional authorization of force that was used against all the terrorists in the Middle East, all the drone strikes, all the bombings, all the airstrikes, everything. So no problem there. Nobody had any problem with bombing the Houthis into submission, a terrorist organization, but suddenly they don't want to bomb the narco-terrorists into submission. Well, in international waters, that's allowed. Now, to answer this gentleman's question, no, you cannot simply go kill a drug dealer on the street on U.S. soil. They are afforded the basic constitutional protections of anybody on U.S. soil. You would have to arrest them, try them, and then you could either extradite them, deport them, you could rendition them somewhere else if they are not a U.S. citizen. But if they're a U.S. citizen, they get the full protection of U.S. law, even in sentencing and incarceration. If they are not a U.S. citizen, you can arrest them, basically prove either that they're here illegally, or if they were not here illegally, prove the case against them, and then you have free reign to deport them or do whatever. So, but we've already seen this play out. And yes, the Democrats would absolutely kill you for having opposing views. Obama already did it. He drone striked 2 U.S. citizens outside of U.S. territorial, outside of U.S. soil, but they were still U.S. citizens. You can't kill U.S. citizens anywhere on the planet without due process. Hence, they are U.S. citizens. But this is who we are dealing with. It's just an absolute crazy town. We have entered into full on show your ass theory for the libs. They are basically telling us exactly who they are. The masks are off. They are unhinged, violent. They're an unhinged, violent terrorist mob is who they are. And they are going to mandate that you think the way they want you to think, or they will come after you with lethal violence. How dare Charlie Kirk go on college campuses, espouse a different political and religious view, and actually debate and convert people on those college campuses? That's why he died. It's nuts. Now, I've got one more video because just so you know, it's not just Democrat Hines from, libtard Democrat Hines from Connecticut. No. This goes back. I've got a little montage for you. Some of this is going to be familiar, but this goes back years and decades. Realize that the liberal, socialist, communist, corruptocrat, they are all in their heart, as Charlie Kirk said, in their heart, they are violent. That's who they are. Because they cannot win a debate, they must institute their idea of utopian society by force of arms. Check this out.
Know why there aren't uprisings all over the country, and maybe there will be.
There needs to be unrest in the streets for as long as there's unrest in our lives.
You got to be ready to throw a punch. You have to be ready to throw a punch.
Donald Trump, I think you need to go back and punch him in the face.
That I thought he should have punched him in the face.
I feel like punching him.
I'd like to take him behind the gym if I were in high school.
If we were in high school, I'd take him behind the gym and beat the hell out of him.
No, I wish we were in high school. I could take him behind the gym.
I will go and take Trump out tonight.
Take him out now.
Okay. When was the last time an actor assassinated a president?
They're still going to have to go out and put a bullet in Donald Trump.
Show me where it says that protests are supposed to be polite and peaceful.
And you push back on them. And you tell them they're not welcome anymore, anywhere.
I have thought an awful lot about blowing up the White House.
Please, get up in the face of some Congress people.
People will do what they do.
I want to tell you, Gorsuch, I want to tell you, Kavanaugh, you have released the whirlwind, and you will pay the price.
We're going to go in there, we're going to impeach the
Well, this is just a warning to you Trumpers. Be careful. Walk lightly. And for those of you who are soldiers, make them pay.
If you had to be stuck in an elevator with either President Trump, Mike Pence, or Jeff Sessions, who would it be?
Does one of us have to come out alive?
Essentially, the entire ultra-left wing of the Democrat Party is a violent death cult. Now, this does not apply to every single Democrat voter out there. The rank and file Democrat voter, all those union guys, the people who want a larger social safety net, but still love the country, still love the Constitution, they're not leftists. Now, basically, I would say 99%, if not 100% of all the Democrat politicians out there are extreme leftists. There are probably the only one I can think of that isn't is Fetterman. I mean, Uncle Fester, as much as I decried him when he got elected in Pennsylvania, is the only voice of reason that I can find in the Democrat Party. The rest of them are violent, leftist, communist goons, and that's who they are. So be careful. Keep your head on a swivel, because as they said, they're coming after you. As Botox Betty Jennifer Welch said, she wants all of them to come after you. They want to come after MAGA as they did Charlie Kirk. And if the Dems don't get on board, they're going to come after those Dems too. It's absolutely nuts.